By the implementation of the forest laws, so the tribal life of the people had been changed a lot because they were not allowed to collect anything from the forest like honey, tubers, medicinal plants, firewood, nothing. They were, even for grazing of animals also, they were not allowed. They were being thrown out of the forest. So the tribal people doesn't know where to go and how to live in the forest. Beyond that, they doesn't know anything. So this is the trouble they were been facing. In many regions, forest departments are established. They look after the forest, entire forest, so that nothing should be cut, even the trees and everything. Okay, and next, many tribal people reacted against the colonial forest laws. They disapproved the new rules that is given by the um, for forest officers. Sorghum Sangam in 1906 in Assam and the Forest Satyagraha in 1930 in the central province led against the British rule. For example, I'll say you a small thing. In Jharkhand, in Hazirabad, the Santals used to rear cocoons of silk cocoons. For thousands of cocoons, they used to pay just rupees 3 or 4 rupees for thousands of cocoons. But the English East Indian Company, they used to take out and say it for more profits. And the people of tribal were being very disastered, offering cash loans and everything, but they were unable to bear the forest laws laid by the forest department or British rule. Some went outside of their forest and they were being leaving, and some went into tea plantations to work daily. And there is an agreement. Later on, there was an agreement by the British government that they were allowed to come into the forest to pluck something in one condition, that they have to work in their tea plantations at very low cost, and they have to work for the forest department. Okay, this was the agreement laid by the British government later on. And so many rebels were being taken over. The Croats rebelled in 1831 to 32. The Santalas rose a revolt in 1855. The Bastard Rebellion in the central India broke out in 1910 and Warali Revolt in 1940 in Maharashtra. Let's come to our Birsa Munda. He also led a such type of rebellion against the Britishers, so we are learning about him. Birsa was born in mid 1870s, the son of the poor father. He was been enjoying his childhood by playing the food, gazing of animals and sheep like, and he was living very happily. But because of the British rules, his father was sent away from the forest, and he was going from to search of the work from one place to another place. In this way, but evening sessions, his grandpas and other people used to discuss about the ancestral rights in the communities would be restored. They saw themselves as decent of the original settlers of the region. They were discussing about the past of their days and how they used to enjoy their life in the forest. He went to the local missionary school. He listened to his sermons of missionaries, and it is possible to attain the kingdom of heaven and regain their lost rights. His sermons used to say that it can be attained only if you become a good Christian and gave up their bad practices. Later, he also listened to the Vaishnava preacher, and he wore the sacred thread and began to the value of importance of purity and pity. He always insists his followers, his fellow men, that to leave the bad practice of drinking liquor, cleanliness of their village should be there, stop believing in witchcraft or sorceries, and blind belief. You stop all these things. And he always says that God doesn't want anything from us, especially everything with the pure heart. Birsa also wanted people to once again work on their land, settle in, and cultivate their fields. And he also want the golden age in the past. What are their forefathers used to live in the forest? They don't want to kill the brethren and relatives. They want to live honestly. And British officials worried about this Bursa movement, and moneylenders, missionaries, Hindu landlords, and government, and set up a Munda Raj with the Birsa community in the head. British officials thought that these Birsa is disturbing their process of looting the tribal people in the forest, and they want to kill this Bursa movement. He want to stop this Birsa movement. So he was being arrested and kept in the jail in the year 1895 and released after 2 years. In 1897 he came, and again he was. After coming out of the police station, he started attacking police stations, churches, and raid the property of money lenders and zemindars. These raid the vice flag as a symbol of Birsa Raj. In 1900, Birsa died of cholera and the movement was fed out. First, it raised the first colonial government to introduce the laws to think. And British people also came to know that the tribal people can also rebel against the British government. In this lesson, we have learned about the tribals and their problems and the rebellion that was taken under by Birsa Munda. Like these tribal people, we have seen a lot of people who faced lot of troubles by the British and forest rules. First of all, they have did the forest as a reserved forest. First, they did not give anything from to the tribal people. Later on, they had changed their laws